One of the first things we would ask would be, what is your motivation for wanting to go green? Is it about branding your company, about identifying yourself to the community as being a green dental practice? Is this really being driven because your energy costs are more than you want to spend? As we see energy costs escalate, there are things that can be done to your facility by shading windows with overhangs, redoing your insulation, upgrading your mechanical systems. There are a lot of tools out there now that didn't exist 20 years ago that we can implement into an existing facility, certainly implement into a new design, that makes the facility a lot more efficient. And yes, it costs more to invest in this up front, but I'm telling you that in the long haul, 3 to 5 years, your return on investment, and then after that you're just making money on your investment. Well, what we're seeing now is we're going to see some federal incentives, federal and local incentives for solar energy. It will happen. And so as we integrate that into dental office design, we're going to start seeing a drastic reduction in energy costs. Again, there's an upfront expense, but we're looking at a 5-year payback. After that, the return on your investment is incredible. We've done some projects where dentists have had energy bills running $1,500 a month. They redesigned their office, and we're now looking at $300 to $500 a month. So there are some incredible statistics that substantiate designing energy efficiently actually makes sense. Here's an interesting statistic, Kevin. For every square foot of building that's done, there are 2 pounds of construction waste. So again, you can wear the badge of being a green client and say, I want to reduce that impact to the environment. Okay. Buildings consume 60% of the electricity in America. They consume 30% of the total energy that's generated in America. So we're talking about a big section of our society that could be made a lot more efficient. But in the construction process of making materials, transporting materials, building buildings, that contributes more to air pollution than automobiles. I mean, and that's a staggering kind of statistic for an architect to have to live.
You mentioned the 2 pounds of waste a minute ago. So how do you go about reducing that?
Well, there's ways that you can design that minimize waste. Materials come in standard sizes. You start designing within those modules. You start considering the waste factor. There is ways that you can then recycle. You indicate in your relationship with the contractor that instead of all of the waste materials going to the dump, you're going to segregate it and recycle it. Again, these are expenses that right now in the way the construction industry works adds cost to the construction budget. At some point it won't, but right now it does.